Alright, guys, we are live. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we are live from the comforts of my living room. Welcome to the Monday Night Mayhem. And I'm your host, Wadi from the fight scene. If you guys out there want to join in with the discussions, log on to Facebook, like our page at www.facebook.com/thefightscene.sg. Hop onto the Monday Night Mayhem post, type in your comments, and I'll add them to the show. Alright, we have Brad Robinson from Fight GMMA. Brad.
Howdy, how's it going?
And we have Suman Mukhtaran from Australian Top Team.
Hey, how's it going?
All right, guys. First up, before we start the UFC on Fox discussion, I would like to share something with you guys. Can you guys see my screen right now?
I can just see a photo of you.
Just a photo of me. Okay, hold on,
Yeah.
hold on. Okay, all right. Can you see the
Oh, wait.
screen? Right.
It's doing something. I can't see. Oh yeah, I can see it.
All right, Brad. Can you see it?
Hang
I
on.
yep.
No.
You can't see anything on my photo profile pic.
No, I see a picture of you and Tarek.
Oh, that's bad. Okay, because the thing is, what I'm showing the live audience, and I'm hoping that I could share screens with you guys as well, is something that really cracked me up during UFC on Fox 10. So I'll show the video, then after that I'll describe what the video is about.
Alrighty.
Yeah, Suman, you saw that?
It's not showing to me. I can see you like playing it, and I can see your desktop, but the screen like it's black right now.
All right. Okay, never mind. It's okay. Because what happened actually during UFC on Fox 10 is that when Josh Thompson was on the back of Benson Anderson.
Oh yeah, that was amazing.
And
Yeah.
and Benson was holding Josh Thompson's hand. While holding Josh Thompson's hand, what Benson did was he fixed his hair. He was like flicking his hair thrice with his right hand, and he like trying to look good for the camera. Oh my god, that is so freaking amusing, man.
He's
Yeah.
got to do something about that hair. I see him keep adjusting it when he's walking forward, but yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
No, anything he does is not cool. Sorry, I cannot tell. I cannot stand that guy. I hate his face.
Oh, stop.
Okay, Brett, come on, tell me the story. What do you hate about Benson Anderson?
No, I just don't like. Listen, you know, it's good to have an attitude and to feel like you're the best, but that guy's strut and arrogance just is on another level. Like, it's just, I don't know why. I don't really get personalities let him get to me in MMA, but that guy just gets under my skin, man.
All right, but
I think he believes his own hype sometimes.
Yeah, it was
Well,
actually. I'll tell you exactly what it was. It was when he got his brown belt, I think, and he talked about when he goes off and he's going to win. He's going to put a gi on. He's going to go win the worlds. Just so like just nonsense, man. You know, you're an MMA fighter. You got a pretty decent game, but you're not a world class grappler. Cut it out.
It's funny he came out in the Pettis fight with his black belt on just after.
yeah.
Yeah, got his arm ripped off by a standard commission armbar.
That's right. Instead of stacking down, he kind of pushed it up.
Yeah, he straightened out. Like, what is the third thing you're taught in class?
I learned that when I got my first stripe, I think, on my white belt.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, but okay, I want to talk straight away to Benson Anderson and Josh Thompson fight. It was really unfortunate for Josh to break his thumb in the third
Yeah.
round. I feel Josh should win the fight in a way, but I don't know. I think Benson knows what the judges are looking for. He fight for what exactly the judges are looking for rather than finishing his opponents. That's what I feel. How about you,
But
Sue? Yeah.
I don't know. I think he's called a point fighter. He gets some flack, but man, it's hard to finish people. Number one, and to have an expectation he's going to finish Josh Thompson.
Yeah.
You know, he is fighting the cream of the crop. So I'll give him that much. That's not easy to do, but other guys do it. Other guys get finishes on the other hand. So it's just that's his style. You know.
Yeah, how about you, Suma? What do you think? Do you feel that Josh should be the winner of the fight rather than?
I had Josh winning the fight, and
Yeah.
But for some reason, when the fight was finishing and they were going to the judge's decision, I sat there and I kind of thought, you know what? I think Josh is going to get ripped off here. And
Yeah.
and I believe he did. But as for Benson's style of playing for the judges, like I compete in a lot of grappling and jiu-jitsu competitions, and uh, I don't even know how many I've entered, but in entering, a lot of people say to me, play for points, play for the decision, play for this. You got to play a competition style. Me as a fighter, I always try and go for the finish. I don't want to really grind anything out unless in my last fight I had nothing really left in me. If I've got something left, which Benson always does, he should go for the finish. But I think he just doesn't put himself in that position. He like you said, he knows what the judges want to see, and he kind of just does it. So credit to
But
him for pulling it
but
off.
do you think if that would have been, listen, one judge scored a 49-46,
Yeah, that was
that's criminal.
Sal Diamato. That guy really, I don't understand how he scored that fight. But Brett, continue.
No, I mean, someone I was just going to say, like, he keeps winning his decisions, but I think if you and I and one other competent person judged that fight, he'd lost it, and he'd lost the last one as like I just don't I don't know, man. I think that it's a bigger issue with the judging because this guy is getting away with being a point fighter, not actually winning the damn fights.
Yeah.
I think it was I know 100%. See, they had a 49-46. Well, Sal Diamato had that, but I had Thompson winning the first 2 rounds for sure.
Mhm.
Yep, same.
I feel like he won. I think there was a 4th round.
Yeah, the
well.
4th round. Yes.
He clearly won the 4th round. I gave it 48-47 to him.
Yeah.
I had the same score. I had rounds 1, 2, and 4 for him, and I don't know how it could have gone any other way. I was thinking about it, but man, I don't want to see Josh Thompson retire after that performance. He was still good, even with a broken thumb.
Yeah.
He came back at the end of the 2nd round, sat there and said he had a broken thumb, and you could see he was hesitating, but there were times when he was still throwing it.
Yep.
That's a fighter.
Yeah, he fought a good fight too. His strategy was really good. I mean, he's a great fighter. He's one of the best in the weight class. I really want to see him come back.
One thing with the thumb is, so breaking your hand is one thing.
Mm-hmm.
Your thumb is something different, because I think it's you hesitate a lot more with a loose limb on your hand than an actual broken hand, which numbs up after about like a round or two. Your hand numbs up. We've had a lot of guys break their hand. Hand numbs up, but your thumb, every time you get hit, you flinch, and I think it's more painful breaking your thumb in the middle of a fight than your hand. So more credit to Josh Thompson.
Yeah, I've done both. I broke my thumb in an amateur MMA fight, and I broke my hand in a fight as well. And I had visions while I was grappling. This is like while I was grappling, I had thoughts of my thumb ripping off because it was just being held together by flesh. That was how. It's very different when you know it's all floppy and loose like that. It's not good.
Oh my god. Okay, I don't want to be in that position. Okay, but the good thing is that someone in the lightweight division, I feel, who didn't even throw a punch during that night, is now has his stock value up. Gilbert Melendez, because Benson Henderson wasn't convincing. So the next guy, and TJ Grant is out. So I feel Gilbert is now considered the number 1 guy in the lightweight division. This is what I feel.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, Gilbert Melendez is a bad man. I can see him being the top of the weight class at any point in time. I think Benson Henderson's stock has fallen, even though he won.
Yep.
I don't think,
it's true.
I mean, I know Dana was going off saying he didn't get a title fight, and I think that's fair. I don't really want to see him fight, for a title.
Yeah.
But I can definitely see Melendez getting a nod. I can see that.
I really want to see the Melendez versus Khabib fight.
Khabib.
Khabib's 21-0.
Yeah.
And even though I think he's number 7 right now.
Yeah.
7, yeah. He's number 7, but I think he should have a shot with one of those top 3, top 4 guys. And
I think he should fight Ben Henderson.
Khabib.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think he should fight Ben Henderson.
I think he can. Yeah, I
former
think.
champion, and it'll be a quote unquote true test for him. and I think he'll win that fight. But I think that puts him on the roadmap to a title fight. I think he fights Ben Henderson, and if he runs through him, he's definitely next in line.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just love the way he throws the Matt Hughes wrestling slams. He's
Yeah,
just awesome, man. Okay,
Khabib's
yep.
beast.
Yeah, Khabib is a beast. So basically, before we go on, because to tell you the truth, UFC on Fox 10 is a night of hit kicks. But I want to talk about Stipe Miocic versus Gabriel Gonzaga. I think Gabriel kind of guessed out, and Stipe just had a very good striking game. Basically,
yeah.
yep.
Uh, I thought Gonzaga didn't look. I actually neither of them looked, spectacular. No one was ever close to winning that fight in my mind. There was never any chance anyone was going to get finished there.
Uh-huh.
But I saw just before I logged on a
Mhm.
picture of Gonzaga's hand.
Yeah.
Apparently that thing looks like a Stay Puft Marshmallow hand. So that could have been part of it as well. But he just didn't look good.
Yeah. The next. Okay, before I go to Donald Cerrone is the shit. I want to talk about Jeremy Stevens. Jeremy Stevens played a very good game. He didn't push himself. He wasn't too aggressive. Nearly got finished at the end by Elkins. I feel Jeremy did a very good game plan in the fight. Leo Hidden Suman.
Yeah, I love watching Jeremy Stevens fight, and since dropping to featherweight, he's just been on a tear. The way he head kicked Honey Jason, that was unreal, and his striking just is it's powerful and it's brawling, but at the same time it's so crisp, and I like watching him fight. For me, like if I was gonna match him up with someone outside the UFC, I was thinking about it when I was watching the fight. I'd love to see Jeremy Stevens versus someone like Rob Lucida, just because of the clash of styles. Oh, well, not really. Their styles are like perfect to brawl with each other. You know, so it would be pretty cool. But like, I love watching that uppercut. That uppercut that he throws and he puts everything into it. Anyone gets hit with that in the featherweight division, they're in trouble. Darren Elkins is a great fighter. He always grinds the thing. But the thing to me that stood out most for Jeremy Stevens, uh, I think Darren's wrestling seemed a bit off, but I think at one stage I was looking, he stuffed 11 from 11 takedowns.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what shows, I think, the growth. And he's not getting bullied around by the bigger guys as much anymore. He's not the small guy in the division anymore. So I think Jeremy Stevens is up there with some of the top guys.
Yeah, man. I feel Jeremy really showed what a fighter is all about. You don't have to go aggressive and on. He studied Darren Elkins the first round, then slowly gave him the counter punches and so on and so forth. It was really, really good performance. So knockout of the night, Mr. Donald Cerrone. Oh my God, Brad, come on, tell me about it.
Yeah, that guy was just textbook Donald Cerrone, right? I mean, that's what you come to expect from that guy. That head kick gave me a headache for about 3 hours afterwards, man. That was beautiful. I mean, just he pulled the toes back and wrapped the shin around the side of the guy's neck. And if you watch the slow-mo replay,
Yep.
it looks like the guy's face is coming off of his skull. It was disgusting to watch. A beautiful shot by him. Oh, it's gross.
Okay, but the thing is, I call it a night of hit kicks because Nikita Krylov, if you all watch the fight pass, the prelim card, Nikita Krylov also did a hit kick. The only difference is that he had to finish it with punches. So in
Yeah.
a way, Donald Cerrone got the win. Another hit kick I want to talk about is the way Sergio Pettis throws his hit kick is so different. You see, when Donald Cerrone throws the hit kick, he will throw out with the cross and do the hit kick from a standing position. How Sergio Pettis will throw is the right cross the same way, but he will bend his body to the left downwards, just like his brother when they throw the head kick. Is that a good technique to do? Because what I saw was Alexis Ceres just use his shoulder and Sergio Pettis just kind of fall off and trip. Suman, is that I don't know which is the better way to do a head kick.
The traditional way to throw like any kick for a lot of kickboxers, Muay Thai fighters would obviously be the way I was taught, and a lot of my teachers, the way they kick. I've got my kickboxing instructor is from Holland. He's at my gym here. He'll tell you to throw a jab or a hook because I'm an orthodox. So I throw my jab, my hook, and off my opposite leg, I'll throw my kick even up high. But you see a lot of karate guys, a lot of taekwondo guys. They'll throw it off the same side, so they'll throw their right hand
Uh-huh.
and throw their right kick at the same time to kind of cover that kick. There's
Yeah.
nothing wrong or nothing wrong with it. It's just some guys are blessed and they've got the dexterity to do it. You know, so I'm not that blessed. I'm not a flexible guy, so it's hard for me to kind of throw my right hand and throw my right kick at the same time and
Mhm.
get it real high up. So I kind of have to swing both sides. But these karate guys, you know, and the taekwondo guys especially, that's where it comes from. Sergio Pettis' background, taekwondo, obviously. So he's got good dexterity in his legs to be able to do it. There's nothing wrong with it. It's a good technique if you can pull it off.
Yeah, Brad, what are your thoughts about the head kicks? There are basically two different head kicks. I don't know. I feel for me, what I feel is Donald Cerrone's head kick is much better than the way Sergio Pettis throws his head kick. But
Donald Cerrone's head kick is a more traditional Muay Thai style.
Mhm.
You generate a lot of power that way, but you do need a setup. It's not going to get there as fast, you know. And typically, those like the Shotokan guys, like Lyoto Machida, throws off the front leg with no chambering, doesn't load it at all.
Mhm.
You know, so it's different for every case. If you can get there quickly, why not? You know, like
Uh,
they're different scenarios. And look, you know what's going to happen in 10 years' time is the next generation of fighters are going to have both in their arsenal. It's not going to be a Muay Thai guy or a Taekwondo
wow.
guy. They're going to have all those weapons to use, you know. So more weapons you have, the better is typically the rule.
Yeah, basically the sport is just evolving and it's getting better and better. But I love the fight of the night. Alex Caceres versus Sergio Pettis. First round, they went all out. There was 360 spinning kick, 540 front kick. I thought it's going to turn into a kung fu film scene. And after that, in the third round, they showed very good grappling, and Alex Caceres got it at the end of the round with a rear naked choke. Brett, your thoughts on the fight?
Dude, that's like if you want to get MMA to go mainstream,
Yeah.
and get a casual fighter who doesn't really understand it to enjoy it, that's the fight they need to watch, because that fight was bananas.
Looks like something out of a movie.
Yeah, that was a scripted fight scene. I don't care what anyone says.
Yeah, it was damn super entertaining. But the thing about it is that Sergio Pettis have a lot to live up for, because his brother is the lightweight champion, and he's 10-0, and he has that family name with it. So I want to talk a bit about it, because Suman, you have a brother Ashtan fighting pro, and Brad, I feel you have a sibling as well fighting.
No, I do not.
You don't. So about you, Suman, do you think there is a load of pressure to live up your family name?
Yeah, kind of. With me, my brother's been training for, I think it's now 3.5, 4 years.
Mhm.
I've been training now only for a year and a half, but I've been around the sport, and obviously, my brother fighting before, everyone kind of expects a lot from you. Um, my brother went, I think, through his first 9 or 10 amateur fights, and he was undefeated. And then he turned pro, and then he's only had one pro fight. He's undefeated, and he's looking for bigger and better fights. I'm a few steps behind him, but everyone's kind of saying to me, "Oh, who would win in a fight between you and your brother?" Or it's different styles, and people don't kind of understand. It does put pressure on you, even though you're not in a competitive state with your brother. It's you never want to be the one further behind. So it's a good competitive nature. So I'm sure Sergio, he doesn't want to hear that he's the younger brother of Anthony Pettis. He wants
Yeah.
to make his own name, and that's the problem with it. You know, when I started out in the sport, it was like, oh, I'm Ash's younger brother, and I'm doing the sport too, kind of because he is. But we're an individual sport, and we're fighting for ourselves. Anthony and Sergio aren't in the same weight class, so they should be accounted for fighters as themselves. But being the younger brother of the UFC lightweight champion, you know, does come with a big name. I think the biggest problem with Sergio is I think he's too small to be a 135er.
Ah.
He's not small to be a 135 is not small, but I think he's a 125er, and I think he's going to live up to his full potential at that weight.
All right. For me, the striker of the night, the fighter of the night, Darren Cruikshank. God, I'm totally a fan. Right after I watched that fight, I was totally a fan. Brett, you watched Darren spinning
Yeah, I
heel
did.
kicks? Yeah.
Yeah, he looks like a Street Fighter character when he goes nuts. I mean, the guy comes to scrap. You know, he's one of the most entertaining fighters on the roster. I think he just, he brings it, and he brings a lot of bursting and a lot of strikes in a short amount of time. So he's going to be a fan favorite as long as they let him keep fighting.
Yeah, man.
Even
Suman.
though his fight wasn't a knockout,
Uh
I
huh.
had that as my
You.
knockout of the night.
Yeah.
Because
This.
the way he threw that spinning back kick and just landed flush on his face, and then finished him off with the punches. I loved it. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and people are actually talking about why don't just let him fight with Edson Barboza. We can see who's the best spinning heel kicks in the UFC.
I think someone's shooting for a takedown there.
Yeah.
Yeah, the guy needs a double leg.
All right. Before I am done with the UFC Fox 10 discussion, anything you guys want to add on?
I
Uh,
just wanted to say, I thought it was an awesome. I thought the last UFC show was cool, pretty cool. You know,
Hmm.
I liked most of the fights that I was watching, even the undercard fights, and just recently, like, we see some of the weaker cards
Uh huh.
have for the UFC, and I'm finding that sometimes they're being more entertaining than the big hyped up cards. Josh Thompson and Benson Henderson. Yeah, that's a big fight, but they had some lower end scale fights, like they had the Crookshank fight and everything. But they're starting to get more entertaining for me to watch, and because I'm learning about these fighters as well, and I'm really studying the different styles, and I'm starting to like it. I'm not just watching Weidman or Anderson Silva fighting. I'm starting to watch MMA as a whole, and it's starting to get good. I like it.
How about you, Red?
Yeah, I've always been a fan of the undercards. I've always been a fan of the smaller shows over the bigger shows. I'm always a fan of the undercards as well. I just, I like someone said, I know what to expect when I see Anderson Silva fight. I know what to expect when I see Cain Velasquez fight, but I want to see some guy I've never heard of and I can't pronounce his name from some Eastern Bloc country fight and
Yeah.
see what the hell he brings to the table. I love that. I think that's amazing.
Like Luis
Luis
Smolka.
Mocha, yeah.
Yeah.
Him, who he was before that, but watching him fight was awesome. So guys like that, I'm becoming a fan of all the newcomers.
Yeah,
You know,
man. Yeah, the thing is UFC have 429 fighters right now on their roster, and it's very hard for me to, keep track of every one of them, but especially prelim cards, especially those lower level cards, those are the number one thing I want to see other than the main events, because these are the fighters that are going to be the next future champions in maybe 3, 4, 5 years time.
Agree.
Yep.
That being said, last thing on UFC was I'll tell you what I want to see next. Two fights I want to see. I
All
want
right.
to see Donald Cerrone and Edson Barbosa.
Okay.
If they don't make that fight, Joe Silva should go to jail. That is obviously the next fight for both those guys.
I don't want to see Cole Miller versus Donald Cerrone.
Yeah,
I
me
don't think
too.
Cole Miller's in a position to call out Donald Cerrone just yet.
No,
Yeah.
Edson Barbosa, Donald Cerrone. That fight will. That's main event stuff right there.
I've got Donald Cerrone in it though. I
Yeah.
think Donald is stronger than Edson on the ground, and
He
I think he'll
definitely
start
is.
to utilize it.
I would like them to agree to keep it on the feet. That's actually what I really like.
Gentlemen's agreement to keep it
Yeah,
steady.
let's just agree to make this a kickboxing fight with 4-ounce gloves. That's what I'd be in for.
And what's the other fight, Brett, that you want to see?
I think I think we should do a WWF style, old school WWE. Winner leaves Roy Nelson versus Gabriel Gonzaga.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like
Uh,
both those guys are on their way out, as far as I'm concerned, and I'd like to see those guys stand in front of each other and go for it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
talking about that, I think Stipe should fight the Frank Mir versus Alistair Overeem as well.
uh,
Or Mark Hunt.
Uh
Yeah, I was just about to say that. I think he should fight Mark Hunt
Mm.
as a step up, because I think Mir, after this fight, is on his way out, and Alistair Overeem is going to be winning that fight. And I think Alistair Overeem, for the UFC, they won't put them together Alistair's a bigger draw card, and they're obviously giving him a percentage of the pay-per-view. So they're gonna try and get their money's worth from him and have him fight a higher scale guy than Stipe, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
Yes.
All right. Okay, I'll finish UFC on Fox 10 now. I'm supposed to get Alan Solomon Chong in, but apparently he's not online, so I'll get Brock Larson in. Okay, before Brock gets on the show, he's fighting Nobutatsu Suzuki for the ONE FC welterweight champion in March in KL. Brett, Nobu or Brock?
I watched Brock fight Melvin Manhoef,
Mm-hmm.
which is one of the scariest things a human being could ever do with their time, is get in the cage with Melvin Manhoef.
Yeah.
And the guy had a strategy, and he stuck to it, and he grinded it out, and he found his opening, and he won the fight, and I became a huge fan at that point. If he sticks to it, he just seems like a guy who makes his mind up that he's going to have a fight go his way, and he'll work every second of that fight to make it happen. So it's hard to beat that sort of guy with that sort of mentality. So I think Brock just has too many skills and too much experience. I think he takes it.
How about you, Zuman? Same?
I think the exact same way. Me and my brother and a lot of other guys always talk about if you were offered like not a dream fight, if you had to fight this person or that person, would you take it? And I'm usually the dumb one that says I'll fight anyone. They're like, "Oh, would you fight this person?" Yeah, I'll fight him. Like no matter who it is, for some reason I find a reason to fight this person. But Melvin Manhoef is one guy that I would never want to fight. That guy is just like, even though I think, in my opinion, I'd probably submit him if we were in a jiu-jitsu class or something. If it turned into MMA, he'll probably put a hole in my head. And
Yeah.
any guy that accepts our fights and goes out there and grinds it out with no fear, he's got my vote. So I'm gonna have to agree with Brad.
Yeah, I don't like, if someone asked me if I would fight Melvin Manhoef, I would not be friends with him anymore. So that's
I'd be like, "Why would you put me on the spot for? In front of all my friends, you want to ask me for fight Melvin Manhoef? Friends anymore?" I'm the exact same way.
All right, that's one more thing I would like to add on to the show is that because last week I wrote an article on Facebook talking about how old is too old in MMA because recently Dan Henderson at 43 years old signed a 6-fight contract with UFC. If he were to fight twice a year, he would end his career at 46, 47. Brett is already 35. Brock Larson is 36. Brett, is there any age limit in MMA?
Yeah, there is. But it's different for me than it is for Brock, than it is for Suman, than it is. I got started late in my career, in my life. I'm still at the point where I can run around with these 21-year-olds and and keep up and outshine in the cardio area, and I'm not falling apart yet. But my time's coming.
Yeah.
Heath tells me that Dan still ragdolls 18 and 20-year-old guys in the gym all day long, and he just says all the time, "I feel like I'm still 35." So it's different for him than it is me. I don't think there's an age limit that you can set. I think it's different for everybody else. And the problem is being honest with yourself. That's the hard part. Is admitting that I'm chasing my youth a little too hard here. It's time to walk away from this. So, different for everybody.
All right. Alan Solomon Chong is on. Hopefully he gets online. And what I was talking about was that Randy Couture is 47. And yeah, he won the title at 43.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, but not everyone is a Randy Couture.
Randy Couture, if he comes back tomorrow, I'd watch him fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I did a bit of research and I found out that the oldest MMA fighter to ever fight in a sanctioned bout is 70 years old. And it was his MMA debut, and he fought against a 49-year-old, and he won in the second round with an ankle lock. And he's 1-0, and he's now 73 years old.
That's
More
amazing.
power to him. If you can do it, do it. We have guys coming in and doing jiu-jitsu at older ages, and don't set even at an old age. Unless you some guys don't want to do it for a hobby, and unless you're really gonna get hurt. If you really want to do it, go for it. Why not? You know, I don't like putting a limit on things. I believe anyone can do anything. So I'm for it. I like it. You know,
Yeah.
that's just, I'm young, so I can say that.
Yeah.
I'm only 21, and I feel my time's already getting up. I have 16-year-olds in my gym some days like kicking my ass, and I'm like, what the hell am I doing?
I don't want to hear it, Suman. I don't want to hear any of that mess.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I do research a bit more stuff. I research Dan Seven retired at 53, fought 100 plus fights, and I thought
Yeah.
that he fought the most MMA fights in the world, and I found Travis Fulton.
Travis Fulton.
That guy is a legend. I've watched his fights on YouTube, but he's had something like 250 wins.
Yeah.
His career, I think like 253 wins and like 180 submissions. You know,
Yeah.
this guy's fighting week after week after week. Like, I don't know who fights.
Hello.
All right, hold on, Suman. Alan Solomon Chong.
Hello, this is Alan speaking. May I help you?
Ah, great. Okay, Alan, I'm here, Wadi from the fight scene. We are with Suman and Brett.
Oh, cool.
Yep. On the Monday Night Mayhem. So basically, right now, where you at? Are you at the airport?
No, I'm at a mamak stall having dinner.
Okay, that's great. Okay.
Got some chicken tandoori on coconut right now and just smashed through roti telur.
Where you at? Petaling
We
Street?
just finished the FIMA press conference earlier today, so we dropped into Brent's gym earlier on. Yeah, and then I'm just chilling around.
Okay, so basically, I was supposed to cover for another guy to be on Mima press con today. Yeah, but I feel my show is more important. So tell me a little bit about the press con.
Today basically, I felt like a catwalk model. I just had to go there and parade myself.
Mm-hmm.
Good thing I didn't have to take off my clothes, but I had fun.
All right.
Here and there.
Okay, I want to ask you about TUF China tryout. You came down to Marina Bay Sands to do the TUF China tryout. Basically, you succeed. What did the UFC guys were looking for?
I'm sorry, I can't. Can you repeat the question at the end?
What were the UFC guys looking for? Were you doing sparring? Were you doing shadow boxing? Or were you doing pad work?
Yes. Basically, we hit some pads,
Uh-huh.
and then we did a round of grappling, random guys that we picked out. So basically, I just controlled the guy, did some sweeps, and actually did an illegal move. He started throwing punches at me, so it's good that I'm. It's supposed to be pure grappling, but I had fun. Got him out again. He put me back on guard again, and then just stayed on top. Enjoyed myself. Did a couple of waves in the camp. Then when it ended, I shook his hand and.
All right, man. There's a lot of echo going on, but anyways, what do you think made you so successful to be picked as a TUF China contestant?
Sorry, could you repeat again? My bad.
Okay. What do you think made you succeed to be picked as a TUF China contestant?
Oh, I'd like to say it was my skills, and and my ability to grapple and strike. But I think it all comes down to personality as well. There was an interview portion that we had to go through towards the end, so that helped. I speak more than 3 languages. I speak Hakka, I speak Mandarin, I speak Cantonese, Malay, English. So being able to showcase that, being adaptable enough to mix languages and learn a new language in China, I guess that helped.
I see, because I saw some episodes of you whereby you have to help people translate and so on and so forth. All right, but
Chinese group there. the China piece is a little bit different for me.
yeah. All right. Okay. The thing is, I heard that because I didn't get to watch your episode. I heard that you got knocked out in your first UF fight. You want to tell us a little bit about it?
Well, basically the whole camp that I was there. I was training me up to be a striker. Basically, I thought, okay, why not? Let's just give this strike a shot. Couple of kicks, couple of strikes, and then he one of my kicks, and as I went down, my tackle came out. So, of course, fuck, just throw a couple of submissions here and there, throw a couple of punches we can get, and slip up, of bad habits, and paid for it.
All right.
It was a flat start, came back up, but the referee had enough. Okay, stop. So, fuck.
All right, man. So what's next? You're gonna fight in Macau, TUF Macau. I mean the TUF finale in Macau.
To be dead honest with you, I don't know what I can or cannot say. I don't know what liberation to say because I saw a whole bunch of stuff that I didn't even read.
All right.
You guys know online as soon as anything comes up, Of course, I'm entertaining a couple of offers now. UFC is very kind to me, and I enjoy meeting the people on the show, and I'd like to see them again, in the ring or outside of the ring. I don't care.
Yeah, man, it's great, man, because Singapore already have their UFC fighter, and it's great that Malaysian also have their own UFC fighter. So maybe one day we can see Alan Solomon Chong versus Royston Wee.
He's my friend, man. I don't care.
All right, Alan. Thanks for being on the show.
He eats my ice cream tomorrow, then probably I'll have to fight him for the ice cream.
All right, Alan. Thanks for being on the show. We love to see you in the cage again, and we love to have you on the show again.
God bless everybody. All the best. Yeah, take care.
All right, thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, Brett's telling me that he's having a bit of a connection problem with Skype, but he's trying to get on again. I don't understand why I'm having echoes. Hello.
You're having echoes?
Yeah.
Oh, it sounds fine to me.
All right. Let's see what's Brett on it. All right. We're going on forward to the show. I'll talk about UFC 169 now, since Brett is not on and we are waiting for Brock. We spoke about Renan Barao, we spoke about Raya Faber, we spoke about Jose Aldo for the past few weeks on the show. I want to talk about Ricardo Lamas. Suman, you bring me on about Ricardo Lamas. I don't know much about him. What I know is that he doesn't go on Twitter much, he doesn't go on the media much. That's how they are selling him right now. How good is he as a fighter, and how do you think he will stand with Jose Aldo?
He's a good fighter. He's been dominant in his last few fights. Anyone who I want to put up against Jose Aldo, I don't think is going to do that well, because for some reason he seems to kick him so many times that any game plan that they had just jumps out the window. I don't think. I was having an argument with one of the guys that trains at our gym the other day about Lamas, and he's saying he's so dominant and he's going to out-grapple Jose Aldo, and he's just going to pick him up and dump him on his head. Lamas is a well-rounded guy, so you can't count him out, but I don't think he's at Jose Aldo's level, I think he's just going to kind of employ the same game plan he had against someone like Faber, and just kick him until he's got no leg to stand on, so he can't shoot and can't take him down to the ground, The game plan is going to be to take Aldo down, because he's not. Lamas is a great fighter, but he's not as fast as Aldo, so he's going to try and take away his main strength, take out his legs, and I just see Aldo winning this by leg kick brutalization.
Yeah, man. I can't put my
I don't think he's
bet
going to be as effective as someone
Better
like
what?
Korean Zombie would, Even though Cub Swanson beat like Poirier and everything, I think I want to see Dustin versus Aldo at some stage in his career.
Yeah, I love Dustin Poirier. He's like one of my favorite fighters. Brock, are you on? Mr. Brock Larson. Alright, I think he's fixing his headgear or something. Brock?
Yeah, it sounds like he's fixing it.
Yeah. Hello, Brock.
Yes.
Oh, so good to hear you, man. Right now, what time is it in US?
It's 8:10.
And you
8
just
o'clock.
you just woke up.
Yes, just got up.
All right. So what are you going to do after this? You straight away going to train or?
Yeah, we're heading to the gym here to go train at American Top Team.
Oh, you're going to train at American Top Team. Who are you going to be training with?
Oh, I'll be training with the whole group. They got tons of guys there, so I'll be training with Master Lebo and a bunch of other guys, and so just everybody.
All right. I want to talk about your previous fight. The last fight you had was in Singapore against Melvin Manhoff.
Yeah.
To tell you the truth, okay, what happened was I remember vividly because I was in the stadium. Second round, Melvin was chasing you. You were running around. The crowd was laughing. I will.
Yeah.
The thing is, wait, bro. Before you carry on, what I would tell you is that if you were to place any guy in that stadium inside that cage with Melvin, they would run around too.
I I always say Melvin's a scary man, and there was no more backing up, so I had to run away.
Yeah, it's true, man. But you had a perfect game plan. You took him down. Basically, you are a much superior grappler than Melvin. So, how do you feel after that fight? You feel? I think that you are now one of the top welterweights in ONE FC right now.
Yeah, it felt good. I went up a weight class, to fight him, and knew it was a scary fight, and I figured, it's worth the risk, and go see what I can do, test my skills.
Yeah. So, what do you know about your opponent Nobutatsu?
Suzuki is a tough guy. He beat one of the guys from Minnesota here too, Austin Judd.
Mm-hmm.
Um, he's got good stand up, has some power, um, and it should be an exciting fight. It might be a little scrappy. I won't be running in this fight. I can guarantee you that. I'll be going straight forward on this one.
That's great, man. So how are you planning to win, Nobu? Basically, I feel you are still the superior grappler over Suzuki.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna stand up for a while and show off my stand-up skills. I never got a chance to do that, of course, with Manoff. So I figure this would be a good fight to kind of show off my stand-up skills, and I'm gonna go for a big knockout. And if it's not there, and then we'll rely on my grappling. But first plan is to stand and feel them out and bang it out a little bit on the feet.
Wow, that's great, man. And to tell you the truth, a lot of fighters does not like to reveal their game plan on any interview, and you just let it all out. Like now, if Nobu is spying on the show, he knows what Brock Larson will get in March.
Yeah, I mean, I don't sugarcoat it. I mean, I want everybody to know what I'm gonna do, and kind of let's see if he can stop me.
So you think you're gonna be the ONE FC welterweight champion?
Absolutely, not a doubt in my mind.
Awesome, and I feel if you win, the next guy on the list will be Ben Askren.
Yeah, that's the plan. I mean, I'm sure that's what everybody wants to see. That's a fight that I've been interested in for a long time now. So now that he's in the ONE FC, it's bound to happen, and I'm excited.
All right, man. I can't wait to see you in March. I'll be down in the stadium to watch. What I want to ask you lastly is, you are 36 years old. How long can you do this?
Excuse me.
Okay, you are 36 right now, isn't it, bro?
Say that one more time. I'm sorry.
Okay, are you 36 right now?
Yes, I am. 36 years old.
How long do you think you can go on with this fighting at a high
Well,
level?
who knows? My style. I don't take a lot of damage. So I'm kind of in and out, and I don't stand and get hit around too much. So I guess time will tell. When it's not funny anymore and the body hurts, then it's time to quit. But until that time, I'm gonna keep going forward.
All right, man. I can't wait to see you in the cage. I can't wait to see you in March again, and I would love to have you on the show again next time.
Awesome. I appreciate you having me.
All right, Brock. Thank you so much.
Thank
Thanks a
you.
lot.
All right.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Bye, Brock.
All right. Bye.
All right. And I'm done with Brock. Let's see if Brett is still on. Brett is still having problems with Skype. So
Damn Skype.
yeah. So it's me and you, Suman. Okay, we'll continue with the UFC 169 discussions. The next one is John Lineker, Ali Bagautinov.
Yeah. That fight for me is someone's getting knocked out. You know, it's not every day a flyweight fight. You know, results in that. I just hope that Lineker comes in and actually makes weight for
Mm-hmm.
once. You know, he's had five. He's had 5 UFC fights. He hasn't made weight 3 times, and
Yeah.
it's not professional. Um, so I think they're both great fighters, but I think John Lineker's got it. You know, I think UFC experience will play a part with him, and
Mm-hmm.
I don't know his opponent. They had big raps on him, and I think maybe he had a few octagon jitters in his debut, but yeah, it should be an entertaining fight. I think someone's going to sleep.
All right. So the next one will be Jamie Varner and Abel Trujillo.
Ah, Jamie Varner's like a vet, you know, fought in WEC and everything like that. But I think Abel Trujillo is a killer. He's so powerful as a lightweight. You know, he's so explosive, and I think Abel's going to come through with the win. I think Jamie's a bit getting a bit slow for the UFC division. You know, he had a cool win over Jamie Varner. He
Mm-hmm.
had a good fight with Joe Lozon, but I think Abel Trujillo is a good talent. You know, but and I want to see more of him. So I think he's going to come through with an explosive fight.
All right. That will be on the 1st of February. UFC 169, and we'll be discussing that on the next week, Monday Night Mayhem. So the next after UFC 169, we will have Ronda Rousey versus Sarah McMahon. I absolutely hate Ronda Rousey. I want her to lose. I don't think Sarah can win her. I only think there's only two girls that have the possibility to win her is Kat Zingano and um and Cyborg. Yeah, Cyborg Santos. What do you think? You think Sarah McMahon could have out grapple Ronda Rousey? Yeah. Yeah.
In my opinion, like I'm not a like I used to be a Rousey fan.
Yeah, me too.
I used to be a Rousey fan, and you know I watched the Ultimate Fighter. It kind of turned me off of Rousey, and then but like as the season went on, you know she started saying like she just really cared about her team,
Mm-hmm.
blah 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 about her.
Yeah.
But I think that even though if I don't like her as a person, as a fighter, she's good. You know, she showed me in the Misha Tate fight that she can overcome other things. She's not as bad of a striker as everyone thought.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I think she's on another level as far as grappling. You know, uh, obviously her opponents uh, been to the Olympics for wrestling and everything like that, but I think Rousey's judo is one thing, but her jiu-jitsu game is something else. You know, I have guys that I've trained with that have trained with her in the States, and they said you know exactly what she's gonna do, and she still does it to you. You know that arms come. These are like purple belt, brown belt guys
Mm-hmm.
that are telling me that I roll with, like I've rolled with, and they're good. You know, they're not. You know, they're not low scale purple, but they're high end purple belts, and that telling me that they're getting armbarred by Ronda Rousey, and they're men, you know.
Yep.
So the strength is obviously there. You know, I'm not trying to be sexist or anything, but the strength does play a big part on it. And if a guy knows he's with a great grappler of a girl, they don't go easy. They don't let these girls armbar them. You know, he wasn't going easy, and I'm not gonna say his name, but he wasn't going easy. But he came back and he said, you know exactly what she's gonna do, but she's so physically strong for a woman that that you know you can't stop it. And I think that hearing raps on her from people that have trained with her and watching her in her fights, she's a fighter. She doesn't give up, and I think she's on another level compared to some of the girls in the UFC. I even Kat Zingano, I don't think has much of a chance against her. I think someone like Cyborg, who would probably put their fist through her face, has a better chance. But I think if he hits the floor, she'll submit Cyborg.
Yeah, that's what I think as well. Ronda is just an excellent fighter. I just hate her character. I
Ah,
hate her personality.
you know, I'm pretty like open with everyone. You know, when I roll with girls, even in my own academy,
Mm-hmm.
I don't disrespect any of them by going easy on them. So I roll with them how I would want to be rolled with. I don't try and rough them up or anything, but I'll roll with them. And I remember once I was rolling at Tiger Muay Thai.
Mm-hmm.
I like when I was in Thailand before I started training at Phuket Top Team, and I didn't know one of the women in the class, and this was a big lesson to me.
Okay.
I didn't know there was a woman that was coming into the class, and I seen her come into the class and sit there and watch for like 2 nights, and I thought, maybe this woman um, just wants to watch it and see how it goes. And then like 3 nights later, she came back and she was doing the class. So me being silly, I thought it was her first class.
Uh
I
huh.
thought she was excited to jump in before that. So I started rolling around, and I might not have been too respectful in giving her the respect as a training partner. And I was rolling around with her, and I kind of like turned over, and she caught my back, and I was like, yeah, no, this is fine. I'm just gonna let her catch my back, and I'm gonna work my way out of it. Next thing I know, she's sinking her hand across my throat, and I'm like, hey, this guy's pretty strong. And then we started rolling a bit more. I'm like, all right, maybe I don't want to get tapped out. I'm trying to get out of something, and this girl ended up tapping me out. And I was
Wow.
like, all right, and I didn't have any problem with the guys in the class. So I was like, got caught, it happens. And then I started rolling with her, and then I'm like, okay, maybe this woman does know what she's doing.
Mm-hmm.
Started rolling, and it became a really like great roll, and she was giving it to me, and I was having trouble passing her guard, and you know, I didn't want to rough her up like I would the guys, but then half the time when I'm rolling with her, I'd find I'd have to,
Uh huh.
just to do something. And then afterwards, I got up and I was like, I told her my name, and I was like, thanks for all, you're really good. And I go, sorry, what was your name? And she goes, oh, Fiona. And I looked at her and I realized the Australian accent, and it ended up being Fiona Muxlow.
Oh.
And man, I was like, what the hell? Like, like I knew who she was, but I didn't know what she looked like.
Ah.
She handed me my ass pretty much in that role.
Uh huh.
I was like, what the hell, And since then, Fiona's a lovely woman. She's one of the nicest women that I've ever met. Especially in the MMA world. She's so nice. I always see her at grappling competitions in Australia, and I think she just won the worlds as a purple belt in gi and no gi.
Mm-hmm.
She's gone to Abu Dhabi. That woman's amazing. She's such a nice woman. She's a hardworking woman as well, and I think she's making a drop to 135 as well. I didn't like watching her fight with Cyborg, but because she's such a sweet lady, and but it taught me a big thing about respect
Mm-hmm.
and about being humble to the people that you train with. You never got to underestimate someone, and as a male, we can't underestimate some of these women because they can play with us too. When I was watching Fiona roll with the other guys, she was handing all of them their asses. She was smashing everyone, and someone like Rousey as well. You gotta accept these people as athletes, not as females, not as males, and and Ronda Rousey is on another scale as an athlete, in my opinion. I think that woman's unbelievable, and yeah, I don't see anyone beating her. I really don't. I think Rousey's gonna hold her title for a while.
Yeah. Undeniably, I hate to say this, but yes, there's not a lot of fighters I feel who could beat Ronda as well.
Cyborg's not coming to the UFC anytime soon.
No, especially when you have a manager by the name of Tito Ortiz. So,
Yeah, that's one thing, and I think the steroids are probably something else. I,
um,
like, I still believe that, like, you look at that woman. Yeah, I'm not gonna get into it, but you know what? If
what?
she can get away with it, all power to you. We saw what happened last time, but yeah, Yeah, I think if we see her in the UFC, it won't be for the next year or two. Uh, I'd pay to see her versus Rousey, but what are they going to do? Are they going to agree on a weight, or are they going to not agree on a weight? Rousey doesn't have to go up weight to fight Cyborg. If
Mm-hmm.
Cyborg comes to the UFC, which she has the option to,
Mm-hmm.
whether it's with Tito or not,
Mm-hmm.
she has the option to come to the UFC, because I know Dana will offer her something
Yep.
if she comes, and they have offered her. If she comes to UFC, it's Cyborg's duty to go down to 135 to fight Rousey. Rousey doesn't need to move around for anyone. She's the women's champion, and she's in a position to make the demands, not Cyborg. Cyborg's in no position to call any shots. And if she wants to be considered one of the world's best, then she needs to fight Rousey.
Yeah, precisely. Basically, I was having a Facebook post the other day when you are talking about that. So I was saying either you take a contract that states 12 to show, 12 to win, to fight the best in the world, or you take 50 and 50 and you just considered probably the best in the world. Like,
Yeah,
yeah.
legacy is one thing, money is another thing. But you know what? There's a lot of things that you need to take into consideration. Some of these people have families
Mhm.
they want to feed, and family comes first before anything, So if it was me, if someone said to me tomorrow,
Mm.
"Hey, fight in the UFC for free," I'll do it. You
Okay.
know, um, you know, I'm in no position to want to ask for any money or anything like that. I'll do it just for the experience. But if I had a family to care for, if I had a wife, I have 2 kids, something like that, I need to put them before my legacy, or whatever you want to call it. So I don't really know too much about someone like Ben Askren.
Uh huh.
Know about their personal life. I don't know if he has a wife or kids. I don't Wikipedia Ben Askren.
Okay.
I'm not the biggest fan, but if he has a wife and kids, or something, or someone he's got to care for, he's doing the smart thing by putting them forward. Um, and fighting for the money that he's fighting for. Fedor never fought in the UFC,
Mhm.
and he's the greatest of all time. You know,
Mhm.
he's one of the greatest of all time. He never fought in the UFC, and even if he fought a bit past his prime, he's who he is. And if you're good enough, you'll be considered that. You don't have to fight in the UFC to be considered the best in the world, in my opinion. I think there's guys in ONE FC that could kick the crap out of UFC fighters. There's a few guys in there,
Mhm.
There's fighters everywhere. There's good fighters in ONE FC. There's good fighters everywhere, and uh, I can guarantee you, if I was in one of those organizations, they would have one of the best fighters in the world too. So, and that's the mentality. Every fighter who fights on, if you're a true fighter, you believe in yourself. So someone like Rob, who's with ONE FC,
Mhm.
believes in himself, and he has people that believe in him too. So what's to say that he's not the best in the world just because he's not in the UFC? If he's knocking guys out, he's the best in Australia. He can make his own statement in ONE FC. He can be that Fedor of the 66-kilo weight division. Too many guys are putting emphasis on the UFC because of a mainstream
Uh huh.
name nowadays. There's guys that I've seen fight in the UFC in the past year or 2 years, or even over the last 5 years, you know, that I've seen them outside of training, and they're not considered the top 400 guys in the world.
Mhm.
I'll chuck them into a ONE FC ring and they'll get their face kicked in, and it's not it looks great on TV, but it doesn't mean that those 400 guys are the best in the world. The UFC have the best name in the world, but it doesn't mean that they're the best in the world. You've got the best fighters everywhere. You've got some of the best fighters in Bellator, World
Mhm.
Series of Fighting, and until it becomes like boxing, where everyone can fight everyone, you'll
Mhm.
never know. There's always going to be an argument, So I wish that it gets to the point where one day ONE FC will be on pay-per-view, like on main event in Australia, where I can just pay for it and watch it, or something like that, because I think all these fighters that fight internationally deserve the credit as the top fighters in the world. You know, if they're with the five major organizations in the world, then they're all good to me. You know, any one of them could be the best in the world on their given day.
All right, that's a very very good point you made there. I think that will be the end of our show. Before I end the show, I would like to say that the fight scene just released an article on Gary Tang. It has already accumulated 200 plus likes over two platforms, one mainstream, the Online Citizen, and of course our very own website, thefightscene.sg. And on that article himself, I actually added Australian top team. Yes. James Jumanji. Yep. Calling out. Yeah, and if I'm not wrong, Rebel FC matchmaker and CEO themselves actually liked the article as well. So maybe we can see that fight in the future.
Maybe I'll be speaking to Justin or Chad in the next few days.
All right.
When I spoke to James about it, James jumped at it again. You know, he's so keen to prove that he's not just hype. You know, there's a bit of hype going around him about him in Australia. You know, he's only 17 years old, but this kid's not hype. This kid's a real deal. And if he gets the chance to come to Rebel FC and fight, I'm telling you, every newspaper article will be talking about this kid in Australia.
Yeah, I will be the first to cover him. Basically, ADCC Trials Champion, National Jiu-Jitsu Champion versus Singapore's Wrestling Champion. It's gonna be a good fight, man.
I think he'll submit Gary Tang.
Wow, we'll see about that.
No disrespect to Gary Tang, but you know, you ask anyone, this kid's the real deal. You know, he's only been training for just over a year now, and he's submitting the high level brown and black belts. You know, this kid's legit.
All right. The next thing I would like to announce is that tomorrow morning or in the afternoon, the fight scene will release our third episode of our TFS gym series, whereby you can see Brad Robinson kicking my ass, and he literally kicked my ass. I got kneed, I got spinning back kick, I got combos. It was the most, I feel is the most intense episode yet. So check out the video as well. Thanks Uman for being on the show. That's it for us tonight. We'll be coming on next week to talk about UFC 169, and we will have a few more guests on the show. So thank you for tuning in. Thank you, Brett, as well, since you cannot come on Skype. Thank you, everyone. That's it for us tonight. Thank you.
See you guys.
Bye, Suman.
See you, mate.